Humanity never learned the name of the species that tried to erase them, only the sound their machines made when they burned through the void. A low metallic hum, like a sigh of disappointment from the universe itself, as if reality were already preparing to forget Earth existed. And on the night the sky broke open with shimmering fractures of light that weren't meteors, satellites, or anything nature ever birthed, billions saw the first wave of the Nullars descending with mathematical precision, tearing open pockets of gravitational instability around the planet, collapsing physics itself like a dying lung. And for a moment, Earth seemed to buckle, the oceans rising in unnatural spirals, mountains shivering like animals sensing a predator beyond comprehension, as if the world was being erased from the inside out. In those seconds, every human felt it, pressure behind the eyes, a ringing in the bones, a primal instinct older than speech whispering, "Run!" But there was nowhere to run, because the Nullars didn't come to conquer, negotiate, or warn. They came to delete, to wipe clean what they considered a cosmic mistake, a species that should never have survived its primordial chaotic beginning. Humanity had been marked for extinction millions of years before it ever invented fire, before it left the caves, before consciousness blossomed in its fragile brain. And the Nullars had waited patiently, like gardeners removing a weed only after it grew tall enough to be noticeable. But something went wrong. Terribly, cosmically, hilariously wrong. For while the Nullars manipulated gravity, they didn't anticipate what would happen to a species made entirely of stubborn genetic accidents and evolutionary miracles when the very fundamental force holding their cells, bones, and planet together went wild. Instead of dying, instead of collapsing into nothingness, humans changed. The gravitational destruction rewired muscle density, hardened bone structure, sharpened neural conductivity, forced blood vessels to adapt to impossible pressure shifts, and awakened dormant biological potentials buried deep in ancient DNA left behind by something older than the Nullars themselves, something that had touched early humanity long before written history and left behind a spark waiting for a cosmic trigger, now lit by the enemy. For 3 minutes the world screamed in agony, continents trembling, skyscrapers swaying like reeds in a storm, and when the distortion stabilized, 8 billion humans gasped as one, rising slowly with a new heaviness in their limbs, a new clarity in their eyes, a new awareness that gravity no longer owned them. They felt stronger, as if the universe had suddenly become lighter and their bodies denser, faster, more efficient, engineered to survive hell itself. In orbit, the Nullar ships paused, their perfect algorithms reevaluating a scenario that had a probability of 0, because no species had ever survived a gravity collapse unshielded, let alone thrived. Humans should have liquefied, imploded, or dissolved into quantum ash, yet here they stood, breathing, adapting, evolving in real time. And when the Nullars initiated the second wave, stronger, sharper, designed to finish what the first failed to do, they watched in something akin to fear, as humanity didn't cower or hide but moved, with speed and coordination no simulation had ever predicted, leaping across ruined streets with impossible agility, lifting debris weighing tons as if it were driftwood, sensing gravitational shifts as though feeling a change in the wind, and for the first time in their ancient history, the Nullars hesitated. The humans' eyes turned skyward, not in terror but in calculation, like predators recognizing a rival. They could feel the enemy machines distorting space around them, could track their movements without sight, could anticipate their attacks seconds before they occurred. And somewhere deep in the earth, in military bases, bunkers, temples, slums, palaces, research stations, rooftops, deserts, and frozen wastelands, a single thought spread like fire: we are not prey. And when the first Nullar drone descended to finish the job, a human, no weapons, no armor, only this new evolutionary metamorphosis, jumped 30 meters into the air, grabbed the drone mid-flight, and slammed it into the ground with enough force to leave a crater, its gravity engine sputtering as if it too were shocked. The moment it died, a ripple of understanding spread through the species that tried to erase humanity. They had not stumbled upon a mistake. They had created their own executioners. The Nullars attempted retreat, recalibration, 1,000 countermeasures involving particle inversions, temporal shear waves, and spatial compression, but for every attack they launched, humans adapted faster,
bodies learning, bones strengthening, minds sharpening, instincts evolving from prey animal caution to apex predator precision, and within hours, humanity was doing things that defied the Nuller's oldest laws, bending gravity around their hands, leaping entire city blocks, sensing the curvature of space like animals smelling rain, and finally, projecting gravitational pulses strong enough to knock Nuller scouts from orbit. Humanity wasn't just surviving, it was becoming something the galaxy had not seen in eons, something the Nullers remembered only in ancient fear texts, carved into the ruins of extinct civilizations, the heirs of collapse, a myth of beings who thrived under cosmic pressure and turned the laws of physics into weapons. And as the humans gathered, no longer afraid, no longer fragile, their silhouettes outlined by the shimmering distortion of awakened gravitational abilities, they looked up at the massive Nuller motherships blotting out the sun, ships built to extinguish worlds with mathematical certainty, and humanity whispered collectively, like a new species awakening into destiny, "You wanted us gone, but you made us gods." And with that, billions of new gravitational signatures surged at once, each human a living anomaly, each heartbeat sending ripples through spacetime, and the Nullers realized too late that humanity's erasure had failed, because they had accidentally created the strongest species the universe would ever know.